Hi learners! Welcome to our channel. This is Teacher 𝗲𝗲𝗶𝗁 and welcome to our distance learning using MathPACKS for grade 7, quarter 1, week 3D. And the goal of this module is for the learners to perform fundamental operations on integers, specifically on the multiplication and division of integers. Now, let me read to you the rules in multiplying and dividing integers or signed numbers. The first one, it says here the product or quotient of two integers with the same sign is always positive. And the second one, the product or quotient of two integers with different sign is negative. So, several examples are given for you to study it independently. And let me proceed to the exercises. Letter A, we have copy and answer on your answer sheet. We have to find the product. So, for number 1, 9 times negative 7, it's negative 63. Negative 5 times negative 13, they are both negative. They have the same sign, negative, so it's positive 65. Negative 4 times 15, this is unlike signs. Multiplying unlike sign integers will give us negative 60. Then 3 times 27, both are positive. So we have 3 times 7 is 21. Positive 21. Negative 18 times negative 3, that is positive 54. Negative 6 times 9, that's negative 54. 2 times 1 times 8 times negative 4. How many negatives do we have here? Only 1 negative and 3 positive, so we have negative 64 as the answer. Now in number 8, we have 3 factors, 10, negative 3, and negative 4. The product is 120. But why is it positive? Because there are 2 negative numbers. So negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12 times 10, that's positive 120. Number 9, we have 4 factors, negative 3, negative 1, negative 4, and negative 2. Now, let's operate first on negative 3 times negative 1. That's positive 3. Then, negative 4 times negative 2. That's positive 8. So, positive 3 times positive 8 is 24. So, take note, in a series of multiplication of integers, if the number of negatives is even, like in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 negatives, the answer is always positive. In the case of number 7, we have 4 factors, and there is only 1 negative, so it's odd. The number of negative here is odd, an odd number, so the product is always negative. Now let us try to check number 10. There are 5 factors. 5 times 4 times 2 times 2 times 1. So this is 5 times 4. Let us operate on this without the sign. Let's not consider first the sign. 5 times 4, 20. Times 2, that's 40. 40 times 2, it's 80. Times 1, it's still 80. How many negative sign numbers here? 1, 2, and 3. Since 3 is odd, then the answer is negative 80. Moving on to exercise letter B. Copy and answer on your answer sheet, and we have to find the quotient. Negative 45 divided by negative 3. Both are negative, so we have positive quotient 15. Then negative 42 divided by negative 6, that is positive 7. Negative 28 divided by 2, that is negative 14. 36 divided by negative 4, we have negative 9. And then negative 3,675 divided by negative 5. Both are negative, so the quotient is positive. And we have to divide 3,675 by 5, and it is 735. For number 6, negative 160 divided by negative 40. Both signs of this is the, what you call, 40 is the divisor, right? Divisor. So the quotient, 160 divided by 40, it's 4. Since both integers are negative, so the answer is a positive quotient, which is 4. For number 7, negative 45 divided by 15. 45 divided by 15 is 3. Since we have a negative 45, positive 15, so the sign is negative. And the answer is negative 3. 360 divided by negative 36 equals negative 10. Negative 124 divided by negative 4, it's positive 31. In number 10, let's divide first negative 100,000 divided by 100, and that is equal to negative 1,000. Now the negative 1,000 divided again by negative 10. So we have positive 100. Moving on to letter C. Solve each problem and write the corresponding letter on the blank. Okay, above the answer. Okay, so we have here the answer already, but let's try to operate first on this. For box I, it says negative 13 times 25. So it is equal to negative 325. Box U, we have negative 108 divided by negative 3. Both are negative, so quotient is a positive. And then 108 divided by 3, it's 36. Positive 36. For box that contains letter C, we have 15 times negative 12, that's negative 180. For N, we have negative 56 divided by negative 7, it's positive 8. For letter R, 6 times negative 17, that is negative 102. For letter H, that is negative 378 divided by 27, that's negative 14. For Y, 60 divided by negative 12, it's negative 5. W, we have 8 times 15, we have 120. For letter L, 12 times negative 27, that's negative 324. And for letter P, that's negative 9 times negative 37, it is equal to 333 positive. For letter A, 121 divided by 11, it's 11. For letter S, 9 times negative 27, it's negative 243. And for letter J, 72 divided by negative 8, it's negative 9. For letter O, negative 13 times negative 9, it's positive 117. And for letter T, it's negative 32 divided by negative 23, it's a positive 4. Now, let's decode. For what letter corresponds to the answer 4? So we have letter T. And for number, what letter corresponds to the answer negative 14? It's letter H. For negative 180, it's letter E. How about negative 5? Oh, I missed out negative 5. But for negative 5, it is Y. So just write letter Y here. They. The word is they. For the 120, what is the letter that corresponds to 120? W. Negative 325. We have I. Then we have double L. Let's try to verify. Yes, negative 324 corresponds to letter L. So they will number. What letter corresponds to -9, J. Letter that corresponds to 36 is U. -243, that's S. And for number 4, that's T. So they will just for 120, that is W. For 11, let's see, letter A, yes. S, -243, correct. For -14, we have H, so wash. Then for 36, we have letter U. Well, I put some red mark here to indicate that maybe the writer really intended to have this positive 333 so that we can use this letter P. And 117, that is O. Number 8 corresponds to letter N. -243 to S. -14 to H. 117, letter O. -102, letter R. -180, letter E. And so on and so forth. So the message is they will just wash up on shore later. Okay, let's proceed to letter D. We have problem solving in real life situation, and you have to show your solutions on your answer sheet. So for number 1, an encoder can type at least 45 words per minute. At least how many words can she type in 15 minutes? Well, the process is just 45 words per minute times 15 minutes. So we have 5 times 5, it's 25. Then you just write down 5, carry 2. 5 times 4, that's 20. Plus 2, we have 225. Then we have for the 1, on the tens place here, just copy 1 times 5 and 1 times 4. So we have 5 and 4. Then total, so 675. So she can type at least 675 words in 15 minutes, just to complete that. For number 2, Barbie was able to save 245 pesos from her allowance. From this amount, she bought 2 face masks at 35 pesos each, and then 2 handkerchiefs at 15 pesos each, and then 1 bottle of 250 ml of alcohol at 53 pesos. How much was left of her money after she paid for the items that she bought? For the solution, what are the given? So we have 245, that's Barbie's savings from her allowance. Then we have Barbie's expenses are the following. 2 face masks cost 35 pesos each, that's 2 times 35, so it's 70 pesos. Then 2 handkerchiefs at 15 pesos each, so that's 30 pesos. And 1 bottle of alcohol, that is 53 pesos. Total expenses would be 3 and then 7 plus 3 plus 5, that's 15. So a total of 153 pesos. Now what is asked? How much was left of her money after she paid for the items she bought? Oh, there must be a question mark here. So the process is just the savings of 245 minus the expenses, which is 153 pesos. So the answer is 92 pesos. Number 3, there are 560 face masks in 7 boxes. How many face masks are there in 4 boxes? Now, what we need to do first is to identify the given. The given is that there are 560 face masks in 7 boxes. So, we have to identify or to determine how many face masks in 1 box. So this is simply equal to 560 divided by 7 boxes. And 56 divided by 7 is 8. Then 8 times 7, we have 56 here, and annex the 0. So there are 80 face masks in each box. Now what is asked of us is how many face masks are there in 4 boxes. So the 80 face masks in one box, you multiply it by 4 boxes. So there will be 320 face masks in 4 boxes. That concludes our problem solving. We will move on to the numeracy skill, finding the greatest common factor of the given integers. For the direction, copy and answer on your answer sheet. Determine the greatest common factor and write the corresponding letter on the blank above the answers. So it should be here. We have to write our answer. But for convenience, let me write the answer here. For box O, numbers 42, 56, and 98, what is the greatest common factor? When we say greatest common factor, what is that number, the biggest number that can divide both, or that can divide the 3 numbers 42, 56, and 98? And the answer is 14. We're done with O. We move on to box M. Given numbers 13, 39, and 65. Well, these 13, 39, and 65 are multiples of 13. So the greatest common factor is 13. For box R, 21, 32, and 36, there is no common factor between 21, 32, and 36 other than 1. So meaning 1 is the common factor, or the greatest common factor. So meaning 1, 32, and 36 are, well, if we both or the 3 of these numbers are relatively prime numbers, relatively prime with each other, meaning they don't have common factors except 1. For box A, 49, 56, and 77, the greatest common factor is 7. For box S, 16, 72, and 80, the greatest common factor is 8. For box H, 32, 48, and 64, the greatest common factor is 16. For box C, between the numbers 32, 44, 78, we have 2 as the greatest common factor. Box D, numbers 22, 66, and 77, we have greatest common factor is 11. For box N, 24, 78, 90, greatest common factor is 6. For box I, 24, 48, and 87, the only greatest common factor is 3. For box T, 36, 76, 96, greatest common factor is 4. And for box E, 30, 45, and 70, the greatest common factor is 5. Well, it says here, there's a clue for this message. Why didn't the quarter roll down the hill with a nickel? Well, the answer is it had more sense. Let's try to verify. It says here, above the number 3, the letter I is verified. Above the number 4, what box contains the answer 4? We have letter T. For 16, we have letter H. For 7, we have letter A. For 11, we have letter D. For 13, we have letter M. For 14, we have letter O. For 1, we have letter R. And for 5, we have letter E. For 2, letter C. For E, we have it here, E. For 5, E. Then N, we have 6. For T, we had it before, T. And for 8, we have letter S. This concludes our discussion for this module. Again, this is Teacher Marichu saying stay happy and healthy. God bless us.